Welcome to the Dojo Talk Podcast. Please remove them shoes before entry. Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. We are on episode number 96. This is a very impromptu podcast. We're literally recording seconds after UFC Calgary just ended. I'm joined with the Anti-Cool. We got Stoges in the building, and hopefully Joey whenever he finishes walking his dog. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Back from the dead.
Right.
Yes, Stoges returns.
So this will not be a typical intro because this was like literally impromptu.
Also, we recorded 2 days ago.
Right.
How much news do you expect in like 2 days? Like, really?
So we're not doing.
Wait, what did you guys record 2 days ago?
We did the Hamburg card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was painful. So, but this was a nice pick me up. This was a nice turn me around. But yeah, there's we're not gonna do fight news. Yeah, we're not doing that. That's not happening. I guess though, real quick before we get into the card, I guess am I the only one who watched the one champion card?
I watched the Henzo fight and the main event.
All right. Well, we'll briefly go through that because I actually did watch that, most of it while I was at work. So I'll just highlight a couple of fights here and there. So we'll start with the main event, interim bantamweight title. Martin win against Kevin. Is it Bellingham? Always say his last name wrong. But they fought for the interim bantamweight title. I guess all I'm gonna say about this fight is I don't think 135 is for Martin Wynn.
Oh my god.
The last time I saw him fight at 145 or it was a 145 or 155. It was after the Bibiano fight. He looked like shit.
Well, he didn't. It's not even so much that like he looks bad. It's just like there's no output. Like there's no. Yeah, and man, like Bellingham was like when that fight started getting into the latter rounds, man, he was tagging Wynn. Like it was looking pretty bad. It was looking pretty bad. But yeah, I don't really got a ton to dissect on that fight other than Wynn didn't amount much of an offense, and Bellingham just kind of put hands on him. And yeah, that was it. That's all I got. How'd you feel watching that fight, Stokes?
Boring. Michael Nguyen does nothing once again. And I'm kind of glad we didn't interview him because that would probably been bad luck.
Oh man.
Actually, no, he might have won he might have beat Bibiano the first time that we interviewed him.
Yeah, fighters on this podcast are undefeated. It's only been one, but you know, it counts. But yeah, that was the main event. Congrats to Bellingham. He'll get the chance to fight Bibiano whenever Bibiano gets back from injury. Co-main event.
I think Shinya Aoki won that night too, and I think they're gonna make him versus Michael Nguyen next. I want to say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wouldn't be mad at that. Yep. Aoki won the co-main event. TKO by some elbows. Renzo Gracie at 51 years old of grace submitted Yuki Kondo.
Yuki Kondo is younger, but he's also like has 100 fights and is a pro wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
So like he's actually like 65.
Yeah. And
who hasn't submitted Yuki Kondo though?
I watched this at work, but I was at work, so I kind of I only saw bits and pieces of this fight. I just remember Gracie going for a single leg and he got a takedown, and then like I had to work, and then 2 seconds later I looked back and he choked him out. And so I don't know if there were any other moments in that fight. But
See, why did they bring Henzo to Bellator?
They don't want someone to die.
No,
He looks like he's in
if
shape.
they didn't want somebody to die, there's some other fights they should have not let happen.
Die again. I mean,
Oh man, oh god,
we miss you, Kimbo.
right? But,
Oh my God, we could have had Henzo versus Kimbo,
oh no,
Please, no.
the world's greatest street fight.
no, they did Henzo versus Shamrock. Figured he couldn't beat one Gracie, so they threw him in there with another one. But yeah, that was that fight. Other highlights: Edward Foleyang got a decision over Aziz Perudinov. They don't have it listed on the Sherdog page. There was a really good kickboxing fight on here with one of the Petrosian brothers, and I cannot remember the guy was the guy he fought. Because the guy he fought won, and I don't remember his name. I don't know. He's a black guy. Well, I don't think he was American black, but he was of the darker skin tone from another region. But that fight was awesome. Gary Tonin got his second win and won championship via rear naked choke. Kind of showed off his striking a little more. He's still like really green with his striking. Seemed like he was just kind of trying to figure things out, but he got a W. And I'm not going to mention the rest of this card because I didn't watch it, so whatever. Is Joey on? I saw Joey's name pop up. I don't know if he's on or not.
Yep. We're adding him.
All right. So we're about to have a full cast, which means this podcast is going to be over at 1 in the morning.
Oh my god.
We'll be over just in time to catch Ryzen.
Right. We'll just live podcast right in the Ryzen.
Dogs, you can't complain. It's like 7:30 there.
I gotta wake up at 5 tomorrow, man. Come on.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. But
You got like a whole nother 10 hours.
right.
I need my sleep, man. I need my sleep.
I feel you. I do the same. When I have to wake up at 5, I'm normally knocked out cold by 9 o'clock. But so yeah, that was one championship. I didn't get a chance to watch LFA 46, but I'm gonna recommend all of you guys watch it because I heard this card was pretty wild, and it had one of the craziest one-round fights ever that lasted all of 31 seconds between
that was my
Mumia Abu Day Ali. What happened?
I think Joey's with us.
I've only been here for about 2 minutes now.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Full house. Full
This
house.
is some true racist shit that I've been here this whole time and nobody said a damn word to me. God, Jesus.
So, 31-second fight between Mumia Abu Day Ali and Mitch Aguilar, which ended.
Are we
in KO.
recording? Did I just walk in on a recording already?
Oh yeah, we're live. Yeah, we're in here.
Fuck.
I don't think live's the word for it.
I see.
So
All I know is I heard we're covering Ryzen and I was like, no, not in the slightest.
yeah, so as you guys can hear, yeah, we got a full house now. But yeah, go watch LFA 46. But we're just going to skip over to the main course of what
Skip
we
the main
already-
event of that show.
Yeah. Oh, who was the main event? I honestly don't know.
Nakashima and Kyle Stewart.
Okay.
Or James Stewart. It was a guy against a guy.
Yeah, Kyle Stewart. And Nakashima won via decision. I heard it was pretty one-sided. And he retained his welterweight belt. So shout-outs to him. And, cool beans. But UFC on Fox 30, UFC Calgary. This is what we're here for. Alvarez vs Poirier 2. We're just running from the top. I'll let one of you guys start this off. How are we feeling literally like 20, 30 minutes after this fight just ended?
So Eddie Alvarez just turns into a dude who sabotages himself. Like, I guess in like a backwards way he always kind of has, but like he's been fighting for almost 20 years now. You should know the rules.
I don't know. Maybe it was a heat of the moment. You know. I don't know. It was weird though because like when this fight first started, I was kind of surprised at how like it seemed a bit more measured than the first one. Like I mean, they were still throwing, but it wasn't like as wild. I don't think as the first one was.
Right.
Well, it didn't start off as wild. It ended. It ended just as wild.
I think that's a big credit to Poirier because like he started off as like this brawler at featherweight, and ever since he's moved up, he's slowly but surely become a better outfighter. He's much less on the I'm going to walk you down and beat you up. He's much more comfortable fighting on the outside and like just being patient.
Yeah, and it worked. I mean, Alvarez I thought started off good. He had the leg kicks going, and that seemed to be somewhat working. Like I said, they both were pretty measured. They were both landing good shots. Yeah, I don't know what happened after that takedown in the second. Like everything, like literally, as soon as they got stood back up after the elbow, it was like Poirier just activated another gear, and it was just like.
It was just like, oh crap. If I don't get this guy out of here, he might do something stupid again.
It was kind of weird though, because he said like in the post fight, like the elbow that landed didn't even hurt.
It landed to his shoulder.
Yeah, he was like he didn't really feel it. I feel like it pissed him off inadvertently somehow, because it seemed like he just got up really angry.
Yeah.
Like he got up like he realized like I want to go home now, so I'm just gonna stop playing and we're gonna get this over with.
Right.
And yeah, he just kind of unloaded. He unloaded on Alvarez. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was a pretty beautiful finish. How'd you feel, Joey? What were your thoughts on this?
The vet savvy giveth and the vet savvy taketh away.
Whoa. Vet savvy is when you do fouls that you can get away with.
He got away with the fence grab during the guillotine.
See, that was smart.
Right, it's vet savvy. And then he went back to it, and vet savvy, doesn't always work out. Something between the end of the first round and the start of the second round, Alvarez was completely different. Like, he was desperation, full neck out, diving for these guillotine attempts, wild exchanges. So I don't know if Poirier hit him with something he didn't like, or if he panicked. Like, I don't know what happened, and we were recording, like, right after the fight, so I didn't even have a chance to go back and watch that round over. But something in between those two rounds, something happened, because he came out completely different.
Yeah. There was a lot of desperation.
Right. And, yeah, that was, like, just weird. Like, out of nowhere, he just completely changed. Maybe he got hit with something. I don't know. Poirier is really good. He's become really good. This isn't the same guy who was swanging and banging with Akira Porasani back in the day.
This is Stokes.
He's he still starts way too slow for me. It cost him against Michael Johnson. I thought he started slow here as well. But this division is too much fun. Like every single time that there's a lightweight main event, they just there's never a bad big lightweight. This was the latest one. So that's all I gotta say. And I want to see Poirier. I want to see Poirier and Ferguson. I think that's what we need to do.
Poirier and who?
Poirier and Tony Ferguson.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm with it.
You don't think Dustin has earned a shot after Conor?
Yeah, but how long? I mean, I guess how long is that going to take? We don't even know when that fight's happening.
Yeah.
We don't even know if that's
right. That's the sad part about this division. Like, killers every direction, but nobody knows what the championship is really looking like right now. Because it's
what does Kevin Lee do?
Try to figure out how to make weight and not fight with staff.
Right.
Rude.
But am I wrong?
You know what? I didn't say you were. Yeah, I didn't say you were. Just saying.
Yeah. This is I mean, whatever Poirier fight is next, I'm all for it. I wouldn't be mad at a title shot, but like I said, at this point, the way the title picture's looking, nobody knows who's fighting who. It's just kind of a cluster up there, but yeah. But either way, that main event was awesome. That main event was awesome. Quick random note that I just wanted to throw out there. I got mad every time a fighter wished Dana White a happy birthday, because he's gonna throw y'all under the bus like 2 weeks from now. So you should take those birthday wishes back, man. He doesn't feel the same about you.
Never hurts to be on the right side. On the right side of the money makers.
But are you ever really?
You
Are you ever really on the
you
right side? Though?
Look, this fan base is gonna believe him over you, so you might as well be a Jeremy Stevens, so to speak, and be as close as you can to him.
Stick it to the man.
You can motherfuck him in private if you wish, but yeah.
I'll never get over the fact that Dana White lied and said Jeremy Stevens would make that fight night where he was just in a jail cell, like as the card was starting.
Well, when was that?
It was like 2012. He was gonna fight Eve Edwards.
Yeah.
I remember this somehow. My life is miserable.
I've never even heard that story.
No, yeah, he got arrested like the day either before or of the card, and
yeah, they got him like heading into the arena for some assault, I think, from like years prior or whatever the case was.
yeah, and then like from what I remember, Dana just like told the media, and no, he's going to be here.
I think the final story from what I had heard was something along the lines of they were working out a deal where like the deputies would come to the cage with Jeremy Stevens and then pick him up like as soon as the fight ended, they would come and get him.
That's the most Dana White explanation.
which hold on, there's a great story to kind of connect these two now that it's been brought up. So New Jack from ECW had like bounty hunters at an ECW event like to pick him up, and so Paul Heyman tells the bounty hunters, just wait backstage, we're good, like as soon as it's over, you grab him and we'll go, but we got to get this match done. So they're explaining it to, like they're running through the match, and Paul Heyman explains that the fight is going to take place outside. They're going to go from the ring to the outside area. So as luck would have it, as New Jack is having his match and they brawl to the outside, there's a car waiting to pick him up, and he literally speeds out of the arena, out of the parking, while the bounty hunters are in the back waiting. So all the wrestlers get to the back, and the bounty hunter's like, okay, where's New Jack? And Paul Heyman's apparently disappeared too, so everybody's just like, I don't know where he went. He was with us, and then we came back.
Oh man.
That reminds me of like the MMA movie Warrior, where Tom Hardy went like AWOL or something, and they had like Marshall waiting for him after the fight. You guys remember that movie?
I have not watched that movie in so long.
I watched it once because my friend knew I liked MMA. And
No. We have a casualty of war.
R.I.P. Joey.
Oh, I thought that was Stokes.
No, Stokes is right here.
All right. So we lost a member. We'll get him back. But yeah, man, this main event was wild. Like you when you guys said earlier, Poirier is he definitely looks better. At 155, man, dude's just reinvented. I don't know if he ever wins a title, but I think he deserves a shot though. I'm not mad if they give him a shot. But you know, we'll have to see how this title picture turns out. I guess it's far for Eddie. I mean, pretty sure he'll be right back there in the meat grinder soon enough. Everybody in this division has a job. Like, there are too many fights to be had, too much violence to go around. All of you guys will probably stick around for a while. So we have not seen the last of Eddie. He'll be back throwing leather with somebody sooner or later. But
he's a free agent.
Well, no, then.
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Oh Lord.
I forgot to bring it. Yeah, this is his last fight in his contract.
Oh man.
So I just saw somebody tweeted it out as a suggestion, but I guess I'll ask you guys. Oh, hold up.
Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Power outage.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
Where do you live, bro?
Oh. First
I've
off,
known
that's
you
the
for like
first
I've,
question.
I've known you for like 2 years, and like 5 times I've heard power outage.
We can't all live in the beautiful land of California. Some of us live in mountains and mountainous regions.
I actually live out in the country.
Huh.
I don't believe that.
I will literally take a picture of my property when I get home.
We don't need that much.
Hold on. What was the Alvarez thought you were gonna throw out?
Oh, so somebody was talking on Twitter, and I don't think I'm not gonna say it's not a possibility, but I assume they have to fill out that Tito Ortiz Chuck Liddell card with something.
Oh, God.
And from what I understand, Michael Chandler's a free agent.
I mean,
So what do you think? Oscar De La Hoya just throw some money out there for Chandler Alvarez 3.
you know.
I mean, Tito's not getting his purse, so just split the purse between those two.
Exactly.
Why not?
I've heard of dumber ideas.
Why not? Why not at this point? Or Eddie.
To be fair, if you're Eddie Alvarez, you could do just like a 1 year, like a 1 fight deal, and then go wherever you want to go.
I think Eddie and Rosin would be really fun.
That would be. He used to fight in Japan, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. I don't know if he'll do it, but that would be fun.
I think you could put him anywhere and he'll have a good fight.
Yeah. He's one of those guys. He'll always have a job. There's always a market for Eddie Alvarez. So, but yeah, that main event was bananas. It was all the violence that we wanted. So congrats to Poirier. On to the co-main event, which honestly for me this was my main event of the evening. This was the fight that I was most looking forward to. Jose Aldo, Jeremy Stephens. I got really emotional during like every part of this fight because for like a couple seconds I thought Aldo was going down and I was about to just flip my laptop over and just not watch the main event. If Aldo would have lost, we wouldn't be recording this right now. I would just be under my pillow and it wouldn't be a good time. But the man still got steam, man. Like, yeah, his derby. I think he takes hits a little too freely, but the man can still throw. You still gotta respect the hands. But I mean, good on Stephens. Like, it was definitely a competitive fight. He had Aldo wobbled. Like I said, for a second, I thought Aldo was about to take the tumble, and I was about to have to cry over here and get all emotional about it. But you know, Aldo regained his composure. He ate a little too many hits for my liking, but you know, he got his offense going. He threw a leg kick, which just made me happy because I feel like he's gotten away from those. He still didn't throw them a lot, but he threw a few. But that body shot, man, like you like hear like the echo, like when he landed that. Like, I don't think anybody would have lived from that. Like, maybe only Holloway. I think everybody else in that division might have died just like that if they would have caught that. Do you guys think it was an early stoppage?
No.
No.
Probably not.
Okay. We're unanimous. Some people say it was early. I don't agree. When you,
I mean, go ahead.
if you get that hard to the body and then like you turn over, like you're done.
yeah, yeah. And like you're not really moving or trying to like, yeah, you were kind of just sitting there waiting to, you know, there was just more punishment coming your way. It wasn't about to get any better.
Yeah, I think there's an unofficial official rule that if you go face down at any time and it looks like you're not defending yourself, the stoppage is always just, in my opinion, if that's the case.
Yeah.
My friend thought it was an early stoppage just because he lost $10 on people.
Yeah. You know, pettiness will do that to you and hurt. But nah, man, this it felt so good to watch Aldo win. Like, and this was his first finish since what they say 2000 and
13.
Jesus. Man.
So, was that the Korean zombie fight or the Mendez fight?
Mendez was 2012. Zombie was 13.
Man. But then this was a nasty, just. Whew. But it felt amazing. I was so happy just to see him win. He was crying. I didn't cry, but I felt like crying. But it was great. It was a really awesome moment. I don't even know what he does after this. To be honest, I would have been happy if he would have just laid it down after this. Like, I felt like this would have been the perfect note to go out on. But, you know, apparently he can still throw, so I don't think we've seen the last of him. But how'd you guys feel about this fight?
Everything depends on Holloway. I think everything depends on Max Holloway. If Holloway's good to go, then you probably don't need to do anything with the some sort of vacation of the title, whatever the case may be. If Holloway's not ready, then I think Aldo. Who else are you going to get to fight Ortega? Aldo would be the only guy.
Yeah. I don't know what you do if you're Aldo. Like, do you go up? Do you just chill out? You know, like, I don't know what you do with him. Because he's going to beat everybody else. Besides Holloway and maybe Ortega.
Wow. Well, I guess you could. Damn.
I was gonna say, like, other than Ortega, I don't know who else I'm interested in seeing him fight at 45.
You know who might be interesting? Because it's like, this is the guy who Aldo normally eats up. It's like he normally has his way with these kind of guys, but he's a little faded, so you're not sure how faded yet, but you kind of have an idea, but you're not sure. What about Volkanovski? Because those pressure-happy, come forward, kind of limited movement, strong guys. Jose Aldo made highlight reels.
I don't know why for a second I thought you were gonna say Darren Elkins.
I mean, dude, I would not rule out Elkins. You know what, though? And Cool normally makes this point, so I'm giving him full credit for it. We've never seen Aldo where he doesn't have to kind of conserve himself and play the safe game. So who knows what he's like in 15-minute fights? We haven't seen him in a 15-minute fight in a zillion years. So maybe this is what he's capable of now. Maybe in a 5-round fight he doesn't have it anymore, but he can be a guy who can feast in those 15 minutes where he can kind of not worry about rounds 4 and 5, not worry about having to conserve, because you're going to be stuffing takedowns for 25 minutes. So maybe Volkanovski would be an interesting test of what remains.
Yeah, like the last time, but before today, the last time Aldo fought in a 3-round fight was he knocked out Cub Swanson.
Yeah, in like 10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah. Like, so who knows? I really just want. I just want to see him at lightweight.
Yeah, I was gonna throw it. Do we still care about a potential Aldo Pettis fight?
I think so.
Yeah. Dude, like, make a run at lightweight, and if it doesn't work out, just retire.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was about to say. I was gonna say, like, I don't know. It's so hard to say, like you said, because we know he still has something left in the tank. I just don't know how much. And a run at lightweight, man, I think you still need a lot left in the tank if you're gonna make like a legit run at lightweight. I almost feel like at this point in Aldo's career, I mean, if he can make a run, I'm all for it. I'm not gonna argue against it. I almost just think at this point I just want to see him fight. It's like fun fights, like, and if you can happen to make your way to a title shot, then we'll go for it and see what happens.
Right.
What do you?
Can I pick a bone with Joey right now?
Sure.
Why don't you think Aldo is the greatest featherweight of all time?
Because he's not.
Oh Lord.
Who is then?
The guy who beat him twice decisively.
Well, does that mean Chris Paul is the greatest middleweight of all time?
Well, I don't think Anderson Silva is the greatest middleweight of all time anyways, so.
Who's the greatest middleweight of all time?
That remains to be seen.
Oh,
If Whitaker beats Weidman, then I'm willing to have that conversation.
oh.
Listen, the greatest featherweight of all time cannot be the guy who has the quickest featherweight KO title fight loss ever, and the guy who lost to a guy who, you know.
Yeah, but you can't just disregard.
He lost.
You can't
It doesn't
disregard
mean no. Let's be fair. It's not that he's not in the conversation. I just think Holloway has a better overall resume. He's beaten just about everybody Aldo fought, and he beat Aldo twice.
You know what? I'm gonna throw a little bit of a defense for Aldo.
Max doesn't have the title reign.
Yeah, see, that's where.
But
my
if you
thing
put
comes.
Max, okay, so put Max Holloway up against Manny Gambarian, and put him up against Mark Hominick.
Well, all right. So I see where
put him
you're
up-
going with this. So I'm gonna stop you because I know we.
obviously everybody is relative to their era. I'm not discrediting who he's beaten. I'm just saying that if the resumes are equal and one guy has 2 wins over the other guy, then that makes him the greatest featherweight ever.
You can't even get a title defense.
That's inaccurate.
Hey, he has one.
You can't make that argument when Aldo missed like 4 years with various injuries.
Oh, he had at least one fight every year. 2.
I'm just saying, just making the argument.
Like,
He was
Max
the
Holloway
best
fought
featherweight.
7 months ago.
Yeah, Max Holloway had a fight this year with dehydration. It didn't go the way that he thought it was going to go, but he had a fight. And let's be fair, Holloway was going to step up in weight. Remember that Aldo didn't want to step up in weight. The UFC tried to make Aldo versus Kenny Florian, and Aldo and Andre Pederneiras weren't interested in that fight. They wanted Sean Shirk. So Holloway was willing to take the challenge. Aldo was willing to wait for a guy who's
But it didn't happen. It didn't happen though. That's the thing. Just because people were willing to do it.
inaccurate. This is an inaccurate statement. That is unfair.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a defense for Aldo real quick.
Listen, you guys can throw all your defenses. You can build up all your force fields, but this is the hill, and I'm dying on it.
my defense of Aldo is he made it to the point where basically guys had spent their whole careers basically just trying to beat him.
That's true. I'm not taking anything away from him. But if that's the case, then I would have to be like Uriah Faber. But Faber's not nobody here would say Faber is an all-time great featherweight or the greatest.
Well, no, like I'm talking about like just in like conceptually, like you compare Aldo's record with like
it's the Anderson Silva thing, which I understand.
But this is where I think like Aldo's record, I wouldn't say is better than Silva's, but this is where it's more impressive.
I'm listening.
I can barely hear myself.
Well, I know because somebody's on a hang glider apparently, making a fan man run in.
On the way home from work.
All right.
Roll all your windows up.
Windows
let-
closed, man.
Let the man drive how he wants to drive. Safely, I hope. I hope your hands are on the wheel, both 10 and 2.
Debatable.
But
Christ Almighty.
the one thing that stands out to me when it comes to like Anderson Silva's resume, like, and maybe this is unfair of me, like I haven't like it just occurred to me earlier when I was just going over it, like. Basically, the day they started taking the sport seriously, we're like, that's the guy I have to be. The only guy I can think of who was like that for his entire career was like Chris Weidman, and he ended up losing that. And that's why like the wins versus like Chad Mendes I hold him in probably in higher regard than other people do.
Fine.
Because Chad Mendes' whole entire career, from the day Uriah Faber lost his title fight with Aldo, has basically been to beat Jose Aldo. And that's what makes his resume stand out to me.
Hey,
Go ahead.
what? There's only one featherweight that's in the top 10 greatest of all time, and that's Aldo. So why isn't he the greatest featherweight of all time? That's all I'm saying.
Wait, excuse me?
There's only one featherweight that's in the top 10 greatest of all time. That's Aldo.
I would look, I think for the record, it's unfair to say Max Holloway will never achieve that mark. Like he's still very young.
Let's talk about right now.
But right now, Aldo's had how many extra? Max Holloway was what, 16 when Jose Aldo won the WEC featherweight? Like, you kind of get what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah, I get it. And we're just saying right now, though, Max can still pass Aldo. As of right now, Aldo is the best of all featherweight.
I would agree. If the world imploded today and we all died,
He would, you people would be living a tremendous lie.
I'll give.
I don't think Holloway's far behind. I think for me, and this goes across any sport, regardless of like basketball, football, combat sports, I always look at sustained dominance. It's not just enough to make it and do it once or twice. The greats do it once, twice, 3, 4, 5. You got to put up those kind of numbers before I start, throwing you in those kind of combos.
Here's the thing with Holloway, though. He cleared out the division before he won the title.
Thank you.
That is true.
Thank you.
For some strange reason, the UFC decided that they didn't want him until he beat literally everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying in the hype up to Holloway Ortega. You basically can't find a guy in the top 10 who didn't fight either him or Ortega. Like, they beat everybody. It's basically just been a matter of them wiping the whole place out. The only difference was that Ortega had Edgar, and Holloway had Aldo twice, which, again, to me, puts them above Aldo all the time. I'm just saying. Just making that point. Max Holloway could fall apart 5 to 10 years from now. But I think that if you were making an all-time great ranking at featherweight, I'm going to take him over the guy who, over the guy he beat. He just beat him. He beat him twice, and it's not like it's controversial. The only controversy, and also kind of the elephant in the room, is did Conor McGregor take everything out of Jose Aldo at that level? But I don't think we have an answer for that because Conor never fought at 145 ever again. Because Conor McGregor could realistically absolutely be in that discussion too.
Yeah.
Poirier, Holloway, Aldo technically should kind of put you in that combo. And Mendes. He beat Mendes.
Poirier and Holloway weren't that good when Conor beat them, let's be real.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. He caught them. I mean, and it's not his fault.
He caught them early.
Because I'd be a hypocrite if I said it was. He did catch them early, though. He caught them early. But that's not his fault. He caught them when they were. When they were. But neither here nor there. I want to disagree that he's not in the convo. But I'm still going to down the hill that Aldo's the greatest of all time. But I would say, though, if Holloway was to beat, like, Ortega and, what was that? Well, I don't know, maybe just Ortega.
Frankie or Chad.
Yeah. If Chad makes it back up there, which I would like to assume he will, I still think he beats almost everybody who's not, like... I think he'll be back up there quick. Yeah, I think if Holloway was to beat Ortega and Chad, then I'd probably hand that over to him without argument. But I can see how he's in the picture, though. I'm just not gonna put him above.
It is no slight to either man if you believe that they're not the greatest featherweight. Because Aldo's in the top 3 worst case scenario. If you believe Conor McGregor should be at the top of that, they're all in the conversation. And then
only Conor fans think he's the greatest featherweight of all time.
Possibly true.
We'll leave that there. We'll leave that there. That's a whole nother argument.
I mean, if they make the argument that he beat Aldo in record time, then I guess it
Yeah.
depends, I think, on whether or not you view those wins as snapshots in a moment in time or an overriding theme. Like for me with Holloway Aldo, Holloway, it wasn't just that he beat Jose Aldo, it was the fact that we had watched him mature from fighting Will Chope on Fight Pass, fighting for his job after losing to Bermudez and McGregor, to becoming this absolute monster who couldn't be beat anywhere. You couldn't take him down, he submitted you, he could take you down, he could outstrike you, he had amazing cardio, etc. So I guess it was the progression and the story that makes him, to me at least, the best.
I think another reason it's hard for me to have GOAT conversations, and it's kind of the reason why I hate doing these in like basketball, is to me it's hard to do them like while everything is still in motion. It's easier to have these when somebody's toward like the end of their career and you can kind of tell like they're winding down, and now I can look at the full picture as opposed to like being just caught in the moment, I guess. So I don't know.
It's a good conversation. It was at least enjoyable to try and piece it together, and I feel confident in my pick.
I commend you for dying.
And then Faber's like,
I'm pretty sure we'll be revisiting this combo very soon. Pretty much whenever Ortega and Holloway finally happen, we'll probably be right back at that conversation again.
Also, I hold against Max the fact that I actually spent money to go to Vegas to watch Ortega tap him out, and he didn't show up. So
okay,
kind of mad
but
about
hold
that.
on. Okay, but what if you spent money to see even worse? What if you spent money to go to UFC 178 and you spent money to see McGregor Aldo, and Aldo hurt his rib, and then as a reward, as a thank you, as Aldo's thank you to you, you got to watch a Team Alpha Male guy get scrubbed out. Like that's gotta count as well.
Oh my god, dude! Don't get me started. I spent money to go to 106, which was supposed to be Brock versus Carwin, and I got Forrest and Tito instead.
How dare you discredit Tito Ortiz? He fought with a fractured skull for you, goddammit. You're...
That was a decent fight.
Koscheck and Rumble eye poke contest was very fun too.
Oh, but you got Swick and Tiago on that one, or on the? No, that was 209. That was 109.
I got Mir Sadala beating up on Marcus Davis. I think.
Oh, those are good times.
I really hope this thing began with we're gonna breeze right through it. Late, we're just gonna get right through this fucking time.
We skipped the fight announcements.
Right, we did.
Because we did them 2 days ago.
Well, someone had to get all in their feelings about Jose Aldo not being the greatest featherweight of all time, so we had to.
All right, we'll move on. This could be the whole 2 hours.
No, we're not.
I mean, we got like 4 or 5 first round finishes after this.
Can
we at least agree that Uriah Faber isn't?
He's top 5.
Sure, we can. Yeah, we we can agree that he isn't. Right. But you know.
No, he's top 5.
Is he though?
We're not doing this.
He put 145 on the map.
We're not doing this.
I'm just saying, I just asked the question.
He put 145 on
this. What map? What map? The Palms Casino map?
If it wasn't for Faber, there would be no lower weight class in the UFC.
Man, there's a whole fan base that just thumbs you down on that alone.
We're going to save this for when Faber comes back to challenge for the title.
There would be no.
All right, we'll save this for Faber Cruz 4. But on to other GOATs. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Tisha Torres. I think I was the only person on earth who was quietly rooting for Tisha Torres, and then I just watched her get beat up. I was silently pulling for Torres. Not that I don't like Joanna. I've just been a Torres fan since Invicta.
It beats the sweat that conversation had me.
I just wanted to see how good Torres could do against Joanna, and now that I've seen it, yeah, that fight did not go the way I'd hoped. I think around like the second round of this fight, I kind of realized like, oh, this was not a good matchup because because this was just one of those fights where it was like if Torres can't get a takedown, this is not going to be a good night because I think one of the things that that Thug Rose does so well against Joanna, like she's really rangy, she can get in and out, but like her size and like she knows how to use it to her advantage. And I think for that reason, like she'll always have Joanna's number, in my opinion. And like Torres doesn't have that, like she doesn't have that size, she doesn't have that range, so she's not gonna be able to pull that off. But I just didn't realize that till about the second round when she was going for takedowns and none of them worked. And then she just kind of got worked in the clinch. And it was just kind of like, I don't know what your recourse is. Like, Torres can hit hard, she can crack, but Joanna is just like a master technician. So it's like you're not gonna have like an at-range striking match, and you won't win that. Like 10 times out of 10, you're not gonna win that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the coaches wanted Torres to do. I don't know what the game plan was, but it definitely didn't work too well. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's oof. Joanna just put kind of a masterclass on it. That was just a clinic, if you will. Just good clinch work. Aldo, she had like Aldo-like takedown defense. Like she was just really like never in. I mean, she got caught with a couple of like those few moments where like Torres just kind of let loose and they just kind of traded. She caught Joanna a couple of good times, but other than those moments, there was nothing else really Torres had to offer, and Joanna just kind of did what Joanna does. It was beautiful to watch and hard to watch because I wanted Torres to do well, but Joanna gonna Joanna pretty much. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. As a Torres fan, it was hard to watch. They just kind of get picked and beat apart for 3 rounds. But yeah, how'd you guys feel?
Anna, cool. You wanna go on this one?
I didn't even hear him stop talking.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I heard like very little of that.
Long story short, Joanna just go to 125.
Yeah, no, like I was just kind of baffled. Like, Torres is a fine wrestler, but like I wouldn't consider her even like one of the top 5 best in the division. You got your Gadellas, your Andrades, your Carlos Esparzas, your Tatiana Suarez's, and besides Suarez, I'm not sure any of those. Well, I'm pretty sure like none of them could take Joanna down enough to beat her. So I don't know why Torres' team decided that they had to go with the wrestling game plan to beat her. Like hold up. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I got scared. I'm not sure why they decided that they had to wrestle to beat her. It didn't make any sense. Like, the only way Torres was going to win this fight was to get on the inside and just flurry. And it's not like Joanna's not like susceptible to that type of fight, because when somebody gets on the inside, she tends to just like plant her feet and throw. We saw it here. She got cracked. What was it, the end of the first round?
Second, I think, was the brawl.
Right. And immediately she ties her up and tries to take her down in the closing seconds of the round. Like, is just dumb. From Joanna, like it was just like great, great clinch fighting, great, just making Torres pay from distance because she would just like camp out at kicking range and just allow Joanna to just kick her in the stomach. She went to a really nice body punch that took like all the life out of her. That's not a good sound.
You alive, Stokes? What is that?
I have no idea.
Uh-oh. Did we lose
No,
everybody?
I'm here. I'm just trying to make sense of all this.
Oh.
For what it's worth, the technical analysis I just heard was quite good.
Thank you. Like, it's just.
No, I'm serious. I thought Anna Cole nailed it pretty much to the letter.
It's a technical beating.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's the moral of the story.
I mean, just like a beating. Just like you got out game planned. And I don't even think like Anna like worked her game plan. I think she just realized, oh, Tisha Torres is going to give me the fight I want. So I'm just going to let her do her thing, and then when we get into position, I'm going to beat her up because she can't beat me there.
Yeah, I think even like the takedowns were weird because it was like, it just seemed like, I mean, I get it, you got to mix it up, but it seemed like all of her takedowns she was just trying to get against the cage, and it was like clearly this isn't working. So like, I don't know. It just seemed like this was one of those fights where like I don't know if they had like a plan B. So like after plan A wasn't working, I don't think there was nothing. I mean, I think her coach in the third told her to like let her hands go, but you can let your hands go against Joanna, and you kind of see where that's going to get you. It's probably not. It's probably not going to go too well.
Like the thing is, and like I remember I don't know if we talked about this with Aldo. Like Joanna and all those games are basically completely built around the fact that they expect people to try to take them down. Like every bit of offense, like every like thought put into their strategy is based around the idea that whoever we put in front of you, they are going to try to take you down. So all your offense is going to be geared around stopping the takedown and then making people pay for trying to take you down. So just to play into that game, just to play into that type of game with her just makes no type of sense.
I don't know. Maybe they thought somehow theirs would go different. I don't know.
It was the same fight that Juliana Lima gave her.
I was like, maybe they just thought she was going to be strong enough. Maybe not to muscle her around, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure they didn't envision like what they got. And I don't think in their mind this was what was supposed to. Well, obviously they didn't think this was supposed to happen, but I don't know. I don't know what the game plan was for this fight, but boy, did it not work. Do we think she should still go to 125? I honestly think she should still go to 125.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, she could take the 115 belt if the champ wasn't Thug Rose, but I think as long as Thug Rose is there, I don't think she gets the belt back.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself a chance. And it was pretty obvious that whether it was game plan related or just a freeze, Tisha Torres did not really give herself a chance to beat Joanna. This is the most mortal Joanna has looked in a long time. Rose, even before Rose, we've been talking about it, that there are little things in her game that were starting to get picked up on, and Rose was kind of the one who finally broke through. So this is as human as you're going to get with a top-level fighter. And if you fail time and time again against the best of your division, at some point you have to change something. And this felt like another Tisha Torres performance where at the end of it, she's left there kind of like, yeah, I had a few moments, but. So at some point, You can't just leave at some point, if you're going to be considered one of the best in your division, you can't leave every single fight that's a big fight with, someone else getting their hand raised. And so this was probably her last chance to have that big performance. And she got jabbed at range. Every attempt to try and cut off the distance, every attempt to try to cut off range was a flailing, reaching arm grab takedown, that like a body lock that wasn't going to go anywhere. There was one moment where she had Joanna in a little bit of trouble on a takedown, and Cormier's like almost begging her not to let her get back to the cage, and she immediately just couldn't control her and wanted back to the cage. So I like Tisha. I think Tisha Torres is a good fighter, but this is another example, sort of like Jeremy Stevens, where how many more times do you get to the top of the division and fail before it finally says something about you for the long term? And this is another opportunity that she missed. And I don't even think she really gave herself a chance either. I mean, Anna Cole nailed the technical part of it. Like, everything he said was on point. But all I can do is follow up and just, there's nothing else to be said from a technical standpoint. It's just from a division standpoint and from a career standpoint, like, you're never going to get another opportunity like this. Same for Stevens. This was the closest you were going to get to a weak former champion who has a lot of name value who you could have poached. And you came up short again.
Yeah. Back to the drawing board. And I don't know what X's and O's you draw from here, but yeah, so something's got to change. Something's got to give. But for Joanna, back in the win column, very impressive win. I would like to see Joanna go up to 125. Go catch some bodies up there. Let's get this Shevchenko fight going. Let's go make fun things happen.
I mean, realistically, everybody in her way to getting a title shot is Tisha Torres's, strong, big women who their goal, like Liz Carmouche is not going to go out there and throw hands with her. She's going to try to take her down repeatedly.
Right, they're going to try to take her down.
So.
Right. And she'll probably piece them
Yeah,
up,
like
too.
this is and not having to cut weight. I mean, she might.
Right. She might even be
able to finish again. I mean, because the finishes have gone by the wayside.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Joanna, put this on Twitter, man. Just a masterful performance, pretty much, man. Just really, really great. But congrats to her. Just overall great performance. Next fight going down the card. Oh Lord, I have to use my phone for this because my laptop froze.
Alex Hernandez and Olivier Aubin Mercier.
Aubin Mercier. The mustache is what I will call him. But, oh man. So somebody on Twitter posted that Alexander Hernandez is Rick Story 2.0. I don't think I fully agree with that, but I kind of see what they were going for. Hernandez is really tenacious, though, man. Like, dude just kind of doesn't stop. Like, I almost felt bad for Mercier because, it was a competitive fight, but you just got the sense, like, Hernandez he's never going to let you breathe. Like, I'm interested to see how high his ceiling is, like, how far he can take this. Because I think he has a really punishing style. Like, he's going to be one of those guys that, when you get the call to take them, like, you take the fight because you want to take the fight, and after you hang up, you're like, oh, crap. This is like, I took this fight because I didn't want to look bad in front of everybody, but did I really want to take this fight? Because this guy, I think he's the real deal, but I'm interested to see how far he can go. But yeah, man, he just relentless pressure. He hits hard. He's really strong. Just another murderous lightweight, like just another killer down there who's just itching to get to the top. I mean, and these are two really good quality wins that he's got over Mercier, and then his first one over Dariush. So it's I think this guy has a pretty high ceiling. I'm just interested to see how far he can take it. But yeah, poor Mercier, man. It just seemed like an overwhelming just. It's like Hernandez is like a little Hulk, and just like the more you fight, the angrier he gets, and the more he's in your face. And it's just like, I don't know what you do with a guy like that unless you can just like put him out. But I mean, props to Mercier. Like, he never like wilted or went away. Like he was still making it a competitive fight, but it was just like this guy he's too much. He's too much.
Yeah, I didn't realize how inexperienced Hernandez is, despite how long he's been fighting, because he's been fighting since like 2012.
Now we're all looking it up.
No, I didn't realize this. Like,
No, I'm trying to look it up right now.
dude's been fighting, like guys winning records only since like 2016.
Yeah, I mean his third fight was Jamal Emmers, who's for a regional fight, that's a big fight.
Yeah, but like, it's really bizarre because like you saw him against like Darius and he looked polished, and that probably had more to do with the matchup. Excuse me. In hindsight, thank you. That probably has a lot more to do with the matchup in hindsight, because I think we talked about this before too. Darius is not a very athletic lightweight. Like, in a lot of ways, he's kind of an overachiever himself. He's not very fast. He hits pretty hard, but quick. And Hernandez was basically floating around like a freaking bantamweight. So like when he got in there with Mercier, who was actually not the greatest athlete, but like a pretty solid one. Like it just felt like Mercier had a better read on him, even though he doesn't have really a philosophy to his striking. His philosophy seems to be like, okay, I know how to throw punches, but I don't want to get hurt, and I kind of want to wrestle. So I'm gonna just float on the outside and wait for him to come to me, and then figure it out from there. So what we got was a lot of Hernandez just crowding himself, walking himself into Mercier's counters, and then like shooting for desperation takedowns. And look, and like in spots he looked pretty good, but like a large part of the reason he won this fight is because Mercier got tired, just trying to keep pace with him.
Yeah. That's why I almost felt bad for Mercier, because like you said, it was kind of desperation, but I almost understand him, because it's like what can I do to just like get this guy just away from me? Like I just need to breathe and stop for like a second to just figure out what I need to do, and Hernandez just like doesn't give you that opportunity.
Right.
I mean, I really want to see who they match him up with next.
Yo,
I just feel like he can give. Oh, you back? What happened?
I've been gone for like 30 minutes. Have you guys really only gone through like one fight since I left?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were trying to keep abreast on your condition. We heard things falling. We thought you were in trouble.
Yeah.
That's some care, by the way, for your friends who are concerned about you.
The only reason I came back was to give Joey emotional support.
I see. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I think Hernandez is gonna give a lot of people some fits. I'm interested to see who they match him up with next. But at lightweight, pretty much every matchup is a good matchup, because everybody's good. Like you can't be at lightweight and be average, or you'll get bounced out fairly quick. But yeah, man, Hernandez is a beast. How'd you feel about this fight, Joey?
I didn't feel anything, to be completely honest with you about it. It looked like a guy who has a lot of promise and upside. Had a bad night because he's fighting on Fox. It's the first fight to open up the show on the main card, so to speak. It's a high pressure situation. When you're a short notice guy coming in on, there's no real major pressure. So it looked like he might have felt a little bit of pressure and fought to that level. But if everything goes wrong and you still win a decision and you're never in any real trouble, then I guess that speaks to your talent level. But I wonder how much weight he cuts, because he looked small compared to Mercier, who looked really big.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me till this fight. Mercy is jacked. Like, he's not Brazilian lightweight jacked, but he's pretty damn big.
So he's not a Trinaldo, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Not a Trinaldo. Can't compare everybody to Trinaldo.
Well, Trinaldo, Gleason Tebow.
Well, Gleason Tebow.
Yeah.
Gleason Tebow had some help. Because Gleason Tebow, when he came back, looked like a withered birch.
Nah, man, this is old age. He just stopped training for 2 years.
Look, you could take Yoel Romero out of the cage for 3 years, and he'll come back looking.
All right, we can't compare humans to Yoel Romero. It's not fair.
We can't mention Yoel Romero
not
because I think this will turn into a 30-minute. Can we talk about Yoel Romero Paulo Costa fight conversation? So in between talking about who Hernandez should face next, I kind of want to pitch an idea about going backwards, actually, about somebody. What about, we're talking about Jose Aldo. What about Aldo and Hooker?
Hey.
If you're looking for a fun, violent fight, I mean.
I want to see Aldo Pettis instead.
I'm cool with that. I just, by the way, we all know who Alexander Hernandez is going to fight next. He's so ready for the Jim Miller.
No,
Jim Miller, test yourself.
That is no. We don't need
Jim Miller carnival ride.
The Jim Miller. Which Jim Miller shows up?
I think at this point we know what Jim Miller we're getting. Oh, you guys better not. Oh, UFC, you better not do that to me. You better not shove Jim Miller against Hernandez in my face.
I mean, what's Diego Sanchez doing?
Leave him alone.
No.
That's worse.
I mean,
yeah, the much. It's worse because he's really gonna want to bang, and he might get himself killed.
Hey, Sanchez is basically a wrestler nowadays.
He's basically I don't want to get banned for fighter bashing. I don't want to get my credentials revoked. No, I was just gonna say, like, that's an unfair fight. Diego Sanchez is a good guy who's important to the fabric of MMA. He does not need to be fighting Alexander Hernandez. That's just mean.
He doesn't need to be fighting.
Then he should retire.
You can't force him.
You can revoke his license, but
you can't force him. But we could just not book him for a very long time.
Just hope he goes away.
Just kind of, yeah, just give him.
Hope he forgets he's a fighter.
That's rude. I'm not gonna be a part of this. I'm not gonna be a part of this, man. Clay Guida, do Hernandez Clay Guida then.
Oh, that works.
All right, I'm not. Yeah, I like that. That could work. That could work.
Just no guillotines.
For some reason, Diego Sanchez just reminded me that across the sea, Takanori Gomi and
Melvin Goard.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing.
Melvin Goard probably came in at like 190 pounds.
Stop. Chill out. Leave him alone.
Oh, man.
Melvin might have a thyroid condition we're not aware of. Leave him. Can't be picking on people. Hernandez is one of those guys, I think, by the way, who like is a real victim of this 155-pound talent glut. Because if he was a 185er or a 205er, this performance gets forgiven. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, he won. We just need a guy who won. But at 155, you have to be almost like dominant every time out. Because otherwise, you're just another guy in the sea of guys who are really great.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I hope the next person they match him up with is in his age bracket. Let's not throw the Jim Millers of the world out there.
But we're totally fine with poor Clay Guida getting shoved out there.
But at least Guida is still like
trying.
Come on,
yes.
no, hold on. Now Jim Miller's trying, all right? He's doing his best.
It's a different kind
I'm just saying, let's be fair to Jim Miller. Jim Miller fought Dustin Poirier. He fought Anthony Pettis. He fought somebody else. Ronaldo. and he went to a decision with all three guys. That's something to be commended for. He's not completely... Dan Hooker was just unfair. He must have pissed somebody off. That was just not nice. Not a nice matchup for him.
You know what? I don't like the young guys fighting each other, but Hernandez and Hooker would be fun.
You could give me any Dan Hooker fight.
I think there are so many young guys at lightweight that this might be the one division where I don't care if they fight each other because they're 30.
Yeah, like that and featherweight is another one where it's just like just put them all in there.
Yeah. So
Who else could make sense for 155?
Evan Dunham.
I mean, you beat the
BJ
guy.
Penn.
BJ. Yeah, sure. You know what? BJ Penn. There you go.
No, let's. We need to keep BJ away from gloves and pads.
So what if BJ wants to start a career in medicine? He's not allowed to be a doctor now because he can't be around gloves.
Yeah, he has to find another way.
I don't want to know.
He might put on those plastic gloves and get the urge to fight again.
Right. Like, he's gonna put tape around those gloves.
Christ. And the oxygen tank will be right there if it was beyond 10 minutes.
Oh man. But shout out to Hernandez though. Good performance. This next fight, like, I don't know what to say about this. Jordan Mean and Alex Morono. You ever been like happy that somebody won, but you were sad at the same time? The reason I say that is because like anybody who's been following Mean since like before he was in the UFC, it's like you watch him now and it's like this doesn't feel like this. Is this the same guy that I used to watch? Like, is this the same guy who elbowed what was
Cyborg?
Yeah. I'm like, is this him? Is this?
When did he become a wrestler?
See, and I'm almost not even mad at him becoming a wrestler because I think at this point in his career, like that might help him.
This is the only way he stays in the cage.
Yeah, this might be the only way like he stays upright and and avoids a lot of bad situations. Because I mean, yeah, they were trading in the first round and he got tagged a little bit. He had me worried. But I mean, props to him for using his wrestling. I mean, I would rather you use your wrestling and just get the W than you go out for a slugfest and get face planted or something worse. I don't know. It was just weird watching this fight. It was like when Mean came to the UFC, I really thought like this. I thought like, oh man, this guy's gonna shoot up to the top. He's fun to watch. He's always exciting, and his career just didn't, did not go on the trajectory that I envisioned in my head going. But
Sure.
Nonetheless, I'm glad he got the W. Like I said, after that first round, had me kind of worried because they were both trading, but he got tagged a little bit. But hey, man, he showed he's well-rounded. He went for his wrestling, and it worked. So, a win is a win, as they say. But
This dude has been fighting for 12 years. He's 28 years old.
Allenberger syndrome.
Like,
Everything gets knocked over. Go ahead, continue.
no, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm surprised Jordan Mean can still walk. Like, all these dudes who start young and then just fall apart in their late 20s. It's a miracle half of them can still function, let alone fight. So like to see him go out here and get a win against a guy who, like, do we qualify? Does Morono qualify as dangerous?
I would say so. Actually, he's had some. He is nothing if not a fight finisher. Put it that way. I mean, like James Muntasiri he beat up pretty well. Berkman I think he fought as well. Kyle Noak he beat him, but by like he's competent. We'll go with competent.
Right. He is a wild but competent fighter who manages to put it all together. And for Mean to go out there and somehow get a decision over him, it shows signs of life. But this isn't the same dude who we thought who beat like Mike Pyle. Like this is like one of those things. Like, what do you want out of your career? Are you doing this just for a paycheck, or are you actually going to try and make a run at the title? And I guess that's where like the sadness sets in.
You know, I kind of took it in a different direction. Jordan Mean at this point probably has nothing left to prove. You know what I mean? Like he's had this long fight career. He's racked up finish after finish after finish after finish. At this point, it's like I don't think the guy who, you know, gave Matt Brown and Thiago Alves problems is still there anymore. The guy who went, I think, to a split decision with Tyron Woodley is there anymore. I think that those days are over. But if this is how he can rack up wins, then he doesn't owe me anything because he's already had those amazing fights and whatever.
Absolutely. But like at the same time, like, is he just doing this for a paycheck?
Right. No. I totally get what you're saying because I think we can even see that this is not the same guy, and even the fights don't have that same energy from him. So it is a reasonable question of, like, are you committed to doing this for the title? And if not, aren't there easier ways for you to potentially make money that don't involve?
Yeah, it's almost, and not even like to make light of it, but like I literally look at him and I'm like concerned, like are you like holding up still? Like are you? He just looks like, it doesn't look like he moves the same. Like he looks, I don't know. He looks.
He
off.
looks like he's
He looks
10 years
really,
older than he is.
Yeah, he looks broken. Like it's taking everything he has to like go out there still.
He looks like a dude who got a break far, far too late. Like he took this break. He should have taken 2 years off a long time ago. Because he's got a lot of fights on his record for a young man.
And then you think of guys like Anthony Smith.
That's what I mean. That's different. He's a big guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Big guys have different rules. Because look at Ellenberger. Ellenberger's kind of the same way. You would assume that he's not an old guy for 170, but he's just broken, and he's broken beyond repair because he's had a million fights before getting into the UFC against top level competition, and now once your chin breaks, it don't fix itself. Like once you lose it, you lose it.
Right.
So, yeah. If this is how Jordan Meehan plans on elongating his career, then at least it's a safe route to do it.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I'm almost like nervous to see who he gets matched up with next because I just don't know if I want to watch.
I don't know. Bartos Fabinski.
I mean,
just let Fabinski and him grapple for 15 minutes because they're not gonna throw any punches.
Yeah, just put them. Just keep putting him in Canada, I guess.
anybody got updates on the Mikey Garcia fight by chance?
I just started.
I opened up my laptop to look at that and then to look up any updates and then closed it immediately. So.
Is it on Showtime? HBO.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Oh, never mind.
But props to Jordan Mean. He got a win nonetheless. This next fight.
I'm sorry. Robert Easter is fighting with fur on his trunks.
Is that not allowed?
I don't know, but it's off-putting.
I'm going to Google Robert Easter trunks. I'm going to Twitter tweet search. Get some opinions on here. Apparently, this is not the first time he's done this because I've got at least 2 tweets from 2016 commenting on it.
Okay.
It looks like Go ahead.
I guess I'm just paying attention because this man is wearing like 2 chinchillas on his hips.
This fella here says it looks like he's wearing jellyfish. So
didn't what's his name do that to Gervonta Davis? Didn't he do that like 2 fights ago?
Gervonta, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like 2 fights ago I was disappointed in him, so I don't know what he did.
to get Sensei mad at you must true shame and disappointment.
Oh man, but this next fight I was pretty happy about. Hakeem Dawodu and Austin Arnett. I apologize, you guys are about to hear noise. I'm definitely about to watch this Mikey Garcia fight while we stream. All right, people. So we're back. I had a technical difficulty. It was all my fault. Don't use alternative methods when you try to watch fights. Hintity hint, wink wink. I will not elaborate. But next
Allegedly.
fight. Right. Allegedly. Next fight going down the card, Hakeem Dawodu and Austin Arnett. Hakeem got his, I guess, redemption, you could say, from his first outing that did not go well at all. He leg kicked Austin to death. He basically just put on a striking clinic on Austin. He was a lot more patient than, well, he didn't get time to do much in his first fight at all. So I can't say he was much more patient because that fight didn't last that long. But it seemed like he was taking his time to just get the W. But he definitely looked really good doing it. Like, he was pretty much in control of the entire fight.
Good job.
Just leg kicks, good combinations. Just he hit Austin with everything. He kind of played with that head kick a bit much though. Like he was dodging it by inches, but it was, it worked out because he would return with a low kick every time he dodged it and got out the way. So yeah, pretty much a 3-round. Just a nice little mini clinic from Dawodu to finally get himself in the win column. So how'd you guys feel about Mr. Dawodu and Mr. Arnett?
There are a lot of sick jiu-jitsu fighters on 9-fight losing streaks.
Man, we came back from a break to that. That kind of meanness.
It's like Austin Arnett can be a good fighter. Like, just from what I've seen from here. But good God, Rick Little should be nobody's head coach. And you want to know how I know that? It's because Rick. Which fight was it? Was it the God, this is gonna kill me. Was it the Juliana Pena?
Pena
Where
Shevchenko.
he gives the interview where he's like, "We don't train our fighters to defend leg kicks or body punches."
Clearly, a very spacey
Right.
interview.
Where he obviously
I do know you're talking about.
was having a great time on camera.
How dare you? Oh my God.
And then
Stop
you
breathing.
see shit like this where his fighter goes out there and gets leg kicked to death.
Yeah, and had like no recourse or really just.
That's all recruitable fighters are. They're like big dudes who like try to overwhelm their opponents. Put a bunch of weight, shit, and then they try to like march down their opponents. Stuff like this happens to them. As for Duato, he got a good first win in the UFC. He looked good, not great, but good. Dude needs to stop circling into the other guy's power. And it's not like he circles a lot. He's not like out here like just he doesn't move a lot. He stays in the pocket. Like if you throw a punch, he'll like put the guard up, but he won't take a back step. He won't disengage, which I found really interesting. There are not a lot of people in the sport who are like aggressive counter leg kickers. Like Sensei was saying, like Arnett would throw a head kick, Duato would literally just like back out of it and then counter with a leg kick. So that's always cool to see. But dude needs to start seeing those right hands coming down the middle, or else he's gonna get knocked out again.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
Good.
This is moving. It takes a lot of energy out of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how high Dawodu's ceiling is, but happy he at least got the win and looked good doing it. Yeah, Arnett though, you might want to start checking those leg kicks, buddy. Just a It's kind of weird though. Like I wonder, like if like you see your coach say that, and then like y'all are in practice or you're in camp, like don't you ever just have that moment where it's like maybe I shouldn't listen to him or like yeah.
I think he was trying to be more deep and just sometimes when you try to be deep you come up. Me, every day. So, I don't know.
Either way, he got leg kicked for all his problems of not checking them. So Aldo got the W. Not a lot of these. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just don't know. I'm trying not to be mean. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. I just don't necessarily know if Austin Arnett is UFC quality. Because he fought on the Contender Series and he lost to. Why are we laughing? I'm trying to be fair. And he lost to Brandon Davis in a fight where it was a fun fight, but it was obvious who the better fighter was. So it wasn't the most competitive fight. And then he didn't take another fight, and he fought Corey Sandhagen. And he got blasted out by him in a fight where he didn't really show anything. And then he fought Duadu in a fight where you don't have to be a genius to tell that one of these guys is getting pushed and one of these guys isn't. So I still don't necessarily know a whole lot about Duadu on this level. I don't know how good he's gonna be, and I feel like this was just a fight to get him a win, and then see what comes after that. So, I guess the jury's still out.
Yeah, I think I need to see a little more. Because, like I said, yeah, his first fight just ended so fast. You didn't get to see anything. This fight was good, but it was just, it was an impressive performance. But, yeah, I think you're right. Verdict's still out. But,
and it's not a disrespect to Arnett. It's just such a vast difference between, especially at 145, between the top regional level guy at a weight class like this and UFC quality. Like there is a difference.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like a mini lightweight. Like killers are lurking everywhere in this division. So yeah, you can't just be any old body roaming in here and thinking it's gonna work out for you. But
yeah, because look at Mark Jacasey, who he was going to set the world on fighter at 155, but there's such a massive difference between good regional guy and great and just UFC quality at weight classes like this. So I'm cautiously optimistic on Duadu. I'm not off the bandwagon just yet.
We'll see, but keep those leg kicks coming, because as long as people don't check them, that'll keep working out. But yeah, he got his unanimous decision, so good win for him. This next fight did not last very long. Islam Makhachev and Kajan Johnson. Was it Kajan? They said it during the broadcast, and I'm probably still saying it wrong. I honestly don't remember much of this fight other than Kajan getting taken down and getting armbarred, which I guess that was pretty much. I'm not gonna say that was the whole fight, but yeah. I was gonna say I don't think much else happened.
I was traveling, so I got in as they were doing the replays of it. So
yeah, I just remember Islam was just kind of marching him down, and once he got that takedown, it was kind of, it's kind of over after that. Not much else happened after that. What's Makhachev's record? He hasn't lost a fight, has he?
He lost to what was his name? Yeah, who I was a big fan of, and now is fighting outside the UFC.
You can't be a 40-year-old lightweight. I'm sorry.
Listen, you can't make that comment. Trinaldo's in the lightweight division. Sorry, apologize.
He's a 40-year-old man with the body of a freaking bodybuilder.
So who does Trinaldo fight in Beach Muscle FC then?
We have to find a way to clone him, and so that he can fight Yoel Romero 2-on-1.
Oh man.
The question is, Yoel Romero loves all things that God has created, but is a clone lovable to Yoel Romero because he's created in a laboratory? He may take no mercy.
Only one way to find out.
Jesus, what a what a night.
How did we get to this conversation?
I think because you know what? I think Anti-Cool is onto something. We need to have fights on beaches and just get the muscled up dudes and have them fight it out. And Tim Boach can be like a ringer, like he's there with his kids, and then he's just like, I'll try. And then you got Tim Boach against Yoel Romero.
Our organization's gonna be like the WWE's, like juicing's mandatory.
I do not advocate that. I want to
feel
point
like
out.
Tim Boach has to. See, I think we should make the barbecue fights a real thing.
We can have
like,
2 leagues. We have beach muscle and like barbecue fights.
Barbecue.
All the tough dads have to fight at the barbecue, and the winner gets like a rack of ribs or something. It's like the
No, if you're gonna make it serious, you got to make it serious. The winner gets the others one.
Oh,
He gets the wife and the family.
No, he wouldn't want the family. He gets the wife and the lawnmower.
You the family, so you can say I'm the dad now.
He gets the garage and all that's inside of it.
Oh man, that would be an epic post-fight interview.
It's like Storage Wars.
Dude, I knocked you out and I took your wife and your kids.
But Adrian Broner says
You all call me daddy now.
everybody gets all mad. I
Oh,
took your wife and your kids and your hedge trimmer, bro.
Oh man, we got to make this happen somehow. Somebody throw some money at us.
But the other guy has to pay the bills for the house you got. He's got to pay alimony. We've just created the next big.
Where are the PFL investors at, man? We got gold over here. You guys are.
Who would Tim Boach even fight in the Barbecue Dads division?
Doesn't matter. He'll win. He'll knock him out.
It's basically
Tim Boach,
the
Dan Henderson.
middleweight division.
Yeah. It's the whole division, like outside of the top, like 4.
It's like them. It's like Cormier,
Glover.
No, I'll leave Cormier out. He'll throw somebody over the grill. We can't have that.
No, but that's how you make champions. That's how Jose Aldo became so great.
Oh, God.
Glover Tex, I'm man. And they got to rep their represented like their respective countries in barbecue. So you got like what's his name? Who is the big clunky Korean middleweight the UFC has?
Hung Yu Lim? Oh no, he's a welterweight.
No, God, what's his name? Dong
still
Yang.
here?
I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
Alive, yes. Still in the UFC.
Well, you know what I mean. But we can have Korean BBQ against Brazilian BBQ. We can do Dong Yang against Kobe. The worst, dude. Or the best.
Oh man. We'll hold on to that idea. If I ever get rich.
I'm in. I'm all in.
How did we get here from Islam Makhachev?
I have no idea.
I'll retrace the steps. I mentioned Adriano Martins, and you said you can't be a 40-year-old Brazilian lightweight, and I pointed out that
I never
there's
threw the word Brazilian in there.
Yeah, you did.
You can't be a 40-year-old lightweight.
Okay, you can't be. Well, no, because are you sure? Are we sure about this? We have the tape.
I have no idea what happened.
I mean,
either way. You can't
let's start here. I have the tape.
So can you be a 40-year-old Brazilian lightweight?
Only
then?
if you're juiced to the gills.
What are you trying to say about Coach Ronaldo?
I'm going to say there is
night.
a reason.
How dare you?
For everything.
I'm not going to take this Trinaldo bullshit. I'm going to take this Trinaldo slander.
I feel like every time you guys
man.
on the show, we end up talking about Trinaldo.
No, listen, I'm not the Trinaldo guy. I'm the Yoel Romero guy.
So now Ronaldo's just they're paired together at the hip now forever.
Trinaldo and Yoel Romero.
I want to say.
There's 2 guys who have defied the laws of age.
Go on, I'm listening.
I don't have anything else.
Go on.
Just 2 guys who defied all logic with age and well, Romero's defied a lot of odds.
More than they could be. They could be like the cops in like a senior citizens like community.
Could you imagine walking in to see your nana?
Oh man, like Romero would be like the tough dad, like boss, like when you thought you won the Tough Dad tournament at the barbecue, he's really the final boss.
He's the final boss. He's the grill master.
He fights in his chef hat.
Dude, he gives
His
off
grill
strong Cuban dad energy. I'm just saying.
Oh my god, this is like the third time you've the most Cuban
He
man that
is.
ever lived, you said. Leave him alone. I saw a guy like Yoel Romero who might have challenged him. It's like 97 degrees on like Park Avenue, and he's got a bowler hat, 17 chains, and like a leather vest
Yes.
that's open. So he was given.
That was definitely an open challenge. He was looking for Romero.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. All right, let's move on. But
Well, what else on this card is there really to talk about? Like, you want to talk about Yoel Romero? Or you want to talk about
I
Caitlin
want to talk
Chugagian?
about how Islam Makhachev called out Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
I mean, I'm down with it.
I have no comment.
You know that there's some American guy out there who wants Brock Lesnar versus Islam really badly. So that's his dream thing.
I can't wait. I'm pulling for Makhachev to knock out his fake teeth.
How dare you?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
How does that happen?
He hits him.
No,
I think he's talking about Brock's teeth.
what happened to Brock's teeth? I mean,
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you
Brock.
eat nothing but
You
sausage.
eat nothing but what you kill.
Yeah, eat nothing but raw meat, and you wind up with some fucked up shit. I can't remember what it was, but it's like right around the diverticulitis. It was like right around diverticulitis time, where somebody took a picture of him in like full hunter garb at a Jimmy John's, ordering like 20 like a bunch of sandwiches. I wish I
don't know why that image is so funny.
I don't remember if he was in full hunter garb, but he had like rubber boots up to like his nipples. I remember that being a part of the picture.
Brock Lesnar at a Jimmy John's is hilarious.
We've got Yoel Romero at an old folks home and Brock Lesnar at the Jimmy John's.
Like, I mean, they were
man.
sponsoring him. He probably got free Jimmy John's for life.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it was right around the time he returned to the WWE too, or the Overeem fight, like in that weird period.
That's why he doesn't have any teeth anymore.
I see. I'm lost now because all I'm thinking about is Yoel Romero as like the director of your old folks home. Like so Sensei's got me lost because now I'm thinking of like you walk in to complain about the AC and it's Yoel Romero.
We'll get back on track.
It's not just Romero, but his creepy translator.
Oh man.
Let's talk about how great Ian Kutalaba is.
I was gonna say. All right, no, I'm gonna leave that joke alone.
Go ahead. Go on, let's hear it.
No.
Go ahead. We're here.
I was gonna hear it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know why this fight with just two other dads that could be at the barbecue. They're not middleweights, but Kutalaba.
If we're
about
being real,
Kutalaba.
light heavyweight is just the honorary dad division. It's like the drunk uncle division.
It's the stepdad.
There we go.
It's the stepdad.
Their tournament is like across the
yeah,
street.
drunk stepdad.
It's the drunk.
Their tournament is across the street.
It's the stepdad who married your mother for that check she gets every month.
Oh
That's-
man.
Oh my god.
That's the
Well,
lightweight division.
Lava fought.
All
Lord.
seriousness, he's not a bad light heavyweight.
Now clinch work was
Well, he's not perfect. He's just not bad.
Hey, he's fine.
at light heavyweight. You know, this is something. I'll take this.
You take what
Like
you get.
I'll take this and I'll be happy with it.
Dude, I remember Kutalaba when he was like he had just debuted. Oh, post out about him on Sure Dog. And he looked like he was 5'6". and like 300 pounds, because he was literally just a circle.
Pac-Man shape
Yes,
is what you're
but
saying?
he threw a punch that was so fast and so hard. It looked like it shook the hard camera.
Oh, man.
Using technical terms here. Perfect.
Well,
Do you want to know what that fight actually made me think, though? Where is Misha Serkunov?
Trying to figure out how to fix his chin.
Man. It's me.
why is Nikita
You
Krylov
get
not
knocked
gotten
out
his
back
call
to
back?
back.
Krylov's back. Apparently, he's fighting Jan. No, wasn't that the rumor? Just because Misha Serkunov pretty much had his way with Ian Kutelaba, and Kutelaba's now a pretty solid light heavyweight, so it does make me miss Serkunov a little bit. This division is going to be his if he can just not have a tragic accident before the age of 32, because DC's not going to be here for very long, guys. So we may be looking at Kutelaba and Serkunov and Anthony Smith and Khalil Roundtree and
Dominic Reyes,
Krylov and
Ray. I think Reyes and Krylov is going to be a title fight.
well, Dominic Reyes for sure. I think, but then again, I'm also like, I don't want to get too hyped up about a light heavyweight prospect. Sorry, a little worrisome.
Have faith. Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, ye of little faith. I apologize. Well, I mean, I think Reyes is really good.
But Kudelaba put the nice clinch tiger knee, Sagat elbows and knees all over this poor gentleman.
whose name I don't remember. Godsmarad Antigulov, who had that Ricardo Mayorga cardio.
He got really, like, I wasn't know if it was because of the elbows or he just got tired.
It was a combination of shooting for 2 takedowns and then getting kneed in the stomach like 3 times.
Yeah, he was feeling it. He was feeling it. But it was a good finish though. It was a pretty
sure.
I enjoy knees and elbows. Those are like 2 of my favorite things. So I was pretty happy with this stoppage. And like I said, anything at 205 that's like remotely good, I will take it and I will be happy with it and I won't complain. So yeah, that was that fight. So good on Kudelaba. Pretty violent finish. Next fight, John Makdessi and Ross Pearson. The first round of this fight had me worried. And then, thank God, things picked up a bit more in the second and third. Actually was a pretty nice, violent, bloody boxing match, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much what this was. I don't really have much to, like, dig into other than it was just a boxing match in which Pearson did not come out on the right side of his face was pretty messed up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton to say. It was an exciting fight, though. I don't want to undersell this. At least the second and third round were really good, and Makdessi really turned it on in the third round. He was getting loose out there, but yeah, just a nice 3-round boxing.
Hey, fight of the night. It is.
Would it be?
It won it.
Oh, was?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, they definitely threw down. They definitely threw down.
Makdessi has one of the best lead hands in MMA. Like from the jab to like the hook, if you try to close distance, is just so smooth and so well timed. It's such a shame that he's like 3 inches too short for this division. Like I said before, like if he was at featherweight, he probably would be like a top 10 fighter. Instead, he fights at lightweight, where like stylistically, there's always just gonna be somebody who just is going to outplay him. Like Alan Patrick is like a 6'1" tank of a lightweight and is able to just take him down with ease for like 3 rounds.
Cerrone, big tall guy. Yeah.
Who could literally just kick him from halfway across the cage, and Makdessi could do nothing to stop him.
Yeah, but he put it on here. He definitely put it on here. I was surprised he didn't throw more kicks, but I guess the hands were working so well. Why mess up a good thing?
Yeah. Shouts to Pearson, because he looked like he was going to die in that third round.
Yeah, his face he was wearing it. He was definitely wearing it. Yeah, McDessie's kind of like in that weird spot. Like, I think it's safe to say like we're not gonna see McDessie in like any title fights, but like he'll just stay around. Like he'll always just be lurking in the water somewhere, and he'll pick off some guys along the way.
Yeah.
Has he ever tried to cut the 45?
No, I don't think so.
But he missed weight at 155, so I don't know.
Yeah, he probably couldn't. Yeah, that sucks too, because he's just one of those guys. I think we said that before. Like, they're just some guys who are like, they're in that weird area where like they're small for their weight class, but they can't go up because everybody else is just so much bigger than them. So they're just kind of, you're like stuck in purgatory, like weight class purgatory, pretty much. But yeah, pretty fun fight. All right, so this is gonna be the part of the card where my memory starts to fade, because these were the earlier fights that like I was watching them, but I wasn't watching them at the same time.
In defense to you, they were like 8 hours ago. So.
Caitlin, is it Chukagian?
Chukagian.
And Alexis Davis. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't. The only thing I remember from this fight is looking at Alexis Davis's face and seeing how red it was, and I was like, it looked like you had a head-on collision with Bullet Bill from Mario Kart, and like he just rammed like right into your nose. But I don't remember any like technicals or specifics of this fight at all.
It's kind of just like a Chukagian fight.
I suppose that's
Yeah,
the way
it
to
was
put
just like, if you see, it was like a Chukagian fight, except Alexis Davis got punched in the face. Probably a lot more than other opponents. Or at least wore it worse than other opponents. Like, Chukagian is like a pure out fighter. She has no, like, type of offense on the inside. And if it wasn't for the fact that she fights at 125, she probably would get knocked out by the first person who would just, like, chase her down. Because she doesn't really throw when she moves. Which is really weird. I didn't notice that until this fight. She'll plant her feet and throw. But, like, while she's backstepping, she's not pumping out a jab to create distance. She's just kind of, like, falling backwards. I don't remember much else about this fight.
To kind of cross sports, Chukagian is someone who kind of can't create on her own. It seems like she needs, like, I don't think she could get her own offense, so to speak, if someone wasn't coming forward in like a straight line, giving her ample opportunities to set up her kicking game or her counter strikes, because Davis does not move her head at all. Like, Chukagian fights kind of like depended upon what her opponent brings to the table. It was a good fight, I thought. I personally thought I enjoyed it. Chukagian's frustrating. I when she first came into the UFC, I was pretty high on her, and now I'm kind of like, you're a good fighter who's probably just going to be a good fighter. And,
I think this is what, 2 in a row for her, 3 in a row. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
3. I think she got 3. Yeah, it was Aldana, and then someone else, and now this one, Mara Borello.
The Italian woman.
The Invicta champion. The Invicta interim champ.
Whatever she's doing is working. So
is it? She's just following the fight pass preload.
I mean,
it's a little mean, don't you think?
On one hand, yeah. On the other hand, this was a number 3 versus number 7 fight, and I feel like if the UFC had any confidence in Chukagian being like a thing, because she probably would have been on TV.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. No, I think that of all the people at 125, you have a lot of people who are either established or fight finishers, and she does not fall into either category. So she's like, and she's, I think the worst thing in the world in the UFC to be is a striker who isn't an exciting striker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're a grappler who finishes, all right. If you're a wrestler who, can has powerful ground and pound, all right. But if you're a striker who can strike but doesn't really have any sort of element of danger in your game, it's probably the worst thing to be. So I want to see her fight Jessica Ai. I think that's a good fight for 125 as a whole. I think it's a good, important fight. Because you assume Liz Carmouche has the leg up if this is a title fight discussion. So
I'm just thinking of like a fight between her and like Valentina Shevchenko, and my brain's kind of shutting down.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that too.
She doesn't need that kind of punishment.
I bet Mark Henry could come up with a strategy to get something.
Yeah, sure, if he had like that type of fighter. But I think Shikagi is just gonna fight this type of fight every time out.
Well, I mean, at this point, she's I think you have like a 4-fight window to prove what you are and how you're gonna be, and all of her fights are the same. So yeah, makes sense.
I should probably mention, like, I've seen Chikagian fight since basically I started following MMA because she was once a part of Team Tiger Showman. Like I don't remember like when the split was, but I back when I used to work at Tiger Showman gym, they used to have the internet blocked except for the Tiger Showman website. So all I did all day was watch a bunch of fights. And she was one of the people up there, and this is exactly how she fought.
Well, it's gotten a 3 W, so I guess it's something. But
now I'm thinking that like you might remember this, but anybody remember the Tiger Showman commercial that they had with like the rap?
Plays here. Are you kidding me?
Man.
I got your
Really?
hands up like I'm making them meditate.
That commercial did not make it to Aria Waves over here.
It plays during the UFC at least 3 times every week.
The only ones that I used to get those like during the Cartoon Network blocks for like 12 hours. I don't know. One of the worst commercials of all time.
They're all terrible.
Someone send that to me.
I bet if I can look that. Let me see.
Oh, that's weird though. The worst commercials always seem to stick around the longest.
Well, it had a rap song.
So
anything that has a rap song has a chance.
That is true. Sadly, they stick around well past their welcome.
If it's a bad rap song, even better, because people like irony.
There's pretend karate.
Oh man. But shout out to Caitlin. She got a unanimous decision. Dustin Ortiz and Matthews Nicolau Pereira. Sneaky head kick that ended that. I don't remember much of this fight other than just the KO. That head kick just kind of, oh Lord. Should we listen to this live on air?
Go ahead.
Let's
You
do
sent
it.
it. Did you Google it? Oh,
Confidence.
all right.
All right. So we're gonna go listen to this Tiger Showman commercial, and we're gonna see what happens.
How much did they pay to get on TV?
A lot of Showman's like a millionaire. He has like 50 gyms.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, YouTube. Don't do this to me.
Something that Dustin Ortiz hit KO. Apparently, it was like he caught him with a toe around the guard.
Yeah.
Something
like
that.
that.
So
It looked perfectly blocked, but then the noise it made was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you could tell when he landed it, like, you heard the slap.
Yeah.
Like, so it was kind of clear that, like, he landed it. Okay, good. This commercial's only 30 seconds, so that's cool. All right, so let's see what we got here.
Me, I don't even hesitate. Got your hands up like I'm making them levitate, and everybody screaming like it's something to celebrate.
So you can pretend.
What is this little kid doing?
Wait, was that the one you were?
I don't even remember now. I have to look it up.
So, like, it starts off with this little kid trying to be like a ninja in his bedroom. He's like,
Let me see here. Yeah, it's 30 seconds long is the one that I remember.
oh man, that was interesting. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought.
No, I got the one right here. I got the one right here. I got the one that I got hit up on the. This was like the East Coast. This was like the Muzzy commercial, if y'all remember that too. Somebody didn't learn French.
But yeah, Dustin Ortiz, that was a pretty nasty KO for his head kick that he landed and just literally just snuck around Pereira's guard. So
first round KOs in his last fights.
Yep. And he could have finished Pantoja too, but he just, flyweights are not natural fight finishers.
Got it done this time in pretty emphatic fashion. So congrats to him. To be honest, these whole next two fights, I do not remember.
Can we talk about? Can we briefly talk about that Ortiz promo he cut afterwards? That was
I didn't watch it. I think I left to eat. I did something after he won, so I didn't see what he did.
It was a very very.
I remember this.
There you go. That's the one that I remember with the judo throws and like the one kid rolling to break the thing.
So what was the promo? Did he call somebody out?
It was like a guy who it was so very un-Dustin Ortiz-esque. It was just an aggressive like nobody works harder than me. They're getting my hands ready. Like he cut a passionate interview that he like stumbled over at times, and it was just very awkward. It was like a great attempt to try and get some attention to yourself, which is important if you're a flyweight, but it was not delivered to the best of his abilities, I don't think. He said something like they're priming my hands for success, and he stumbled over some words. It was not pretty. It wasn't MMA. It wasn't
promo. Devin Powell promo levels, what you're telling me, because I remember his.
Devin Powell was trying to put people trying to save some jobs. Ortiz was trying to get himself a title shot. But we all know the only way to get a title shot is to call somebody a piece of shit and say the champion's name. And
you have to tell Demetrius Johnson he's not a draw and nobody wants to watch him fight.
We're coming for you, Mighty Mouse.
Oh, no. Oh, the Hulk Hogan.
Oh, man. The Hulk fought and we didn't even make any Be a Man jokes.
Oh, man.
Sad.
Somebody caught a Hulk Hogan promo at the end of. I wouldn't really know how to feel. I wouldn't know if I should celebrate or just be angry.
If I was fighting a dude who calls himself the Hulk, I would come out to Be a Man.
Be a Man, Hulk.
Or at least Macho Man's like theme song.
So the UFC has Brock signed for at least a little bit longer. They should totally have him do some like pre-taped dub interviews, so that when a guy who they kind of don't have any like Dustin Ortiz would have benefited from Brock Lesnar reading his promo and just shouting it as loud as he could. Because I don't think it matters what you say, you just have to yell. Because Darren Till cut that promo where he just yelled. And now he's got a title shot.
Oh, boy. Do you guys remember anything about the Nina Ansaroff and Ronda Marcos fight?
I kicked the crap out of Marcos.
Yeah, I remember some kickboxing, but I don't remember specifics.
Ronda Marcos has one way to win a fight. Just one way. Like, she can only win a fight if she can take somebody down. And she just... Once her entries are figured out, like, there's no backup plan to get the fight to where it needs to be. So she literally just walked into a bunch of leg kicks and would get pieced up with Nina Ansaroff's jab from time to time and desperation takedown attempts, which are the worst because I don't think there's anything worse from a judging perspective than if you're face planted trying to grab a single leg, you know what I mean? Because we've all seen it where the person's so desperate that they literally go, head first into the canvas and then they got to look up, find their opponent and like slowly get up. So Ansaroff's developing into a pretty good 115er. Pretty good. Angela Hill, Randa Marcos, and Jocelyn Jones-Lybarger is a pretty good win streak to be on. I don't know how far she'll get, but she's, you know, you got to at least put yourself into the conversation. I would have said Tisha off a loss, but no. Watterson.
Do they have somebody like? Well, I guess that'd be Suarez. Brink.
There is one. Mackenzie Dern. Do you think she can make weight?
She doesn't show that she can make weight. She wants to.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, I don't want to be in the gym every day. Sometimes I just want to go to the beach and like, she's taking Corona's gimmick.
Yeah, wow. I'm thinking of like Eric Del Fierro doesn't strike me as like an authoritarian kind of guy. And if he has to be like you're not focused enough, like that's something. So
Wasting my time and I could be helping other people.
because that's a lot of money you're letting walk out because she's gonna probably fight for a title soon.
We shall see.
Sensei wants to get this one fight out of the way so badly.
Well, to be honest about this fight, I was on the way home from work.
Yeah, I caught this ride on a car too.
Yeah, so like the only thing I saw from this fight was the 2 body kicks. I didn't even catch like the fight at all because I think I just got home when this fight was like just getting over. So I don't know what happened leading up to was this Devin Powell brutally kicking Alvaro Herrera like twice in the body, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what happened before that. That was all I saw. But I'm gonna assume that since this fight was only like a minute something long, probably wasn't much else that happened.
Alvaro knocked down Powell.
Oh, did he? I didn't even.
I think it was more like a balance thing, but yeah, he did knock him down like on a body shot or something.
Well, Powell did make mention that he got hit in the body really badly. But
just remember, Alexander Albu is still in the UFC.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Stop bullying people, man.
Oh, Mikey Garcia.
Dude, it's actually funny. I was thinking the other day, like when I was doing my UFC, when I slaved over that UFC schedule thing, I was trying to think of 115ers, and I'm like, is she even at 115? I thought she moved up. Like, I don't know where she's at.
She moved down from 135 to 115. I don't know if she's bouncing up.
That's what I was thinking. Like, that's why she's been out for so long since the.
I thought it was because she was getting her like degree in like
Kaylin Curran fight, right?
Like they were talking on the thing like during that fight, like, oh, she's getting her degree in like Russian copyright law. Okay,
that's a very random degree.
Man, I don't know if like there's like a big Russian IP.
What's up, Stokes?
What? I just said something.
Oh, did you? I thought I heard you.
I did. Nothing.
Oh my God.
We are falling apart.
Oh. I'm just trying. I every once in a while I hear like a noise from him, and I want to make sure he's okay.
Good.
Honestly, I was eating ice cream, and then I went for seconds. And
someone's not making 145 or.
Oh, I'm like I'm a good 165 right now.
Perfect weight class.
Oh man. Well, that was UFC Calgary. Yeah.
I like how we ended on Stokes ice cream. What kind of ice cream?
What was that?
What kind of ice cream?
It's the Reese's like in the tub thing.
As long as you're not eating butter pecan.
What's the beef with butter pecan?
Terrible.
I see. I don't have an opinion either way. Can't.
That's awful. But
This was an ice cream kind of card. It was a good.
Shout out to Calgary for being a good event compared to the last Calgary event.
Yeah.
shout out to this just being a pickup from the Hamburg card, which I just want to forget altogether.
If I was on the DTP, I would have defended the Hamburg card. It wasn't that bad. Jeez. Hamburg?
Hamburg.
What's wrong with you people?
Oh, 90% of the time, when we do this.
I see. You know, the thing is, I listened and didn't even pick up on it. So, needless to say.
You know what was bad about that is that we watched all of the fights like 3 times and didn't remember any of them.
Oh my god.
That was the lasting impression, that card.
You know what? You know what? I bet if that card happened at like 10 p.m., I would have been really mad about it. But it happened at like 10 a.m. So
if that would have happened at 10, we might not even reviewed it. I might have just acted like that.
I thought it
never
was
happened.
fine. It had some fine fights. It just went to some decisions.
That card started at 10. What time did that card start? 10. And it didn't end until like 6. And it was just nothing. Just
Look, that's more fun to have. It
was like 20 rounds.
I
Of
mean,
just
if
nothing.
you want to watch
And poor
Fabinski wrestle Mech for 15 minutes, you can be my guest.
Look.
And then at the end, we just, we got to see Shogun get killed. Like that was our icing.
That was our
on the cake.
one of
But that's
on the card.
Yeah, I mean, ugh.
That was painful.
They put Nick Hine and Bartosz Fabinski back to back. That's asking your audience to be upset.
There was many
But I don't think
on the past card.
It was like a last minute addition. They had just had to rebook it, and they were just like,
And they
fuck it,
couldn't
on that.
knock like Taha Naramani to the Fight Pass prelim.
Listen.
Everybody should have been a Fight Pass prelim on that card.
Jesus Christ. This is some cyberbullying. Anthony Smith didn't step in on 2 weeks' notice to save that show just to get picked on.
He ruined it for a lot of people.
Man. As someone who could give or take Shogun, that was fine for me.
He needs to pick on somebody his own age.
I've never been a Shogun fan, to be honest.
There you go. Stoges and I are once again in agreement.
It's not that I'm a huge Shogun fan, it's that I just don't want to see old people get hurt.
Man, you're going to be really mad when they do that Jim Miller fight.
That fight just felt so unnecessary.
That's why you didn't like UFC Hamburg so much. It was just a bunch of old people getting hurt.
Hamburg.
No. UFC's
Hamburger.
Leave this poor place alone. Jesus.
You're right.
What did it was a perfectly fine event. I don't think it was that awful. I've seen worse UFC cards this year.
I've seen worse, but it's up.
Remember that finale fight with John Gunther flailing at air for 15 minutes? Get out of here.
I think I skipped that one.
That almost made me quit the whole show, but it was like, well, Israel Adesanya's on the show, and then
oh yeah, that was the card I only watched Israel's fight.
I was so mad at the end of that whole event. That was the worst I've ever been.
Oh man.
That or Maya against Usman.
Anyone?
How dare you?
The disrespect.
He's another old guy.
Yeah, he's still trying though.
What is trying in Damian Maya's case?
Not getting killed, I guess.
I see.
As long as you're not getting killed out there, I'll give you benefit of the doubt.
I see. Well, do we have any final thoughts on this card?
It was awesome. It was
a good show. It was good.
Like I think everything I wanted out of this card, like I got. Like the performances I expected to be good were really good. The main event was violent, like I thought, and Jose Aldo winning just kind of capped the whole night off of me. Like I think after Aldo won, I didn't even care about anything else that happened. Like he won, and that was what to me was most important. So my night was made. I'm a happy camper. So I have no complaints.
Up until
By the way, Devin Powell won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At this point, it's on the audience to know who won.
I see.
You should have to
I agree.
You should have to remind them how things went. They watched it.
I'd rather hear about Stoges eat ice cream, to be entirely honest with you. Than this.
It was good.
I see. Perfect. Perfect way. I thought it was a fine show, and I'm gonna bet that this is the last real. Because if you think about it, that Fox event in December, they have no.
They have nothing.
Like. No, not from. They can put a fight together, but like they have no incentive to. It's the last one. Like you're not getting anything out of it.
You're getting Darren Elkins versus.
I say get weird with it.
I can't remember what I picked for that show, for that thing I wrote. I think I Gus versus Rockhold, and now Rockhold's at 185, and Gus is hurt. So, yeah, it's in Milwaukee. They'll just put Anthony Pettis against somebody, and that'll be your main event.
Pettis Aldo. There you go.
Jesus, could do that. And it's gonna be Iaquinta because the UFC likes flirting with danger.
I'll just pull out a fight.
Yeah, but I don't think he was hurt. I think he said that he just wasn't ready.
Oh, I thought he just didn't want to fight.
Yeah, he had to. No, he
It's
had to
entirely possible.
He had to go flip more houses, man. He didn't have time for that. This man has a lucrative real estate business to run. Can't be bothered.
I think he pulled out like the day tickets were gonna go on sale, or something along the like right at the like benchmark.
I feel like he's just doing shit to get fired now.
Yeah, but I think they're hip to the jive a little bit. Because why else would you put Cajun Johnson on the Fox prelims? It's not like you didn't. It's not like you couldn't have put Ross Pearson there.
I meant to mention that the Cajun fight. I think they were trying to get him out of there. This was a hitman fight.
To be
I'm
fair, Cajun's like what, 4-1 in the UFC to this point.
Right, but that doesn't mean anything. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like wins.
Like he's 4-1 in the UFC.
Right.
He's going to get somebody tough, no matter who it is. They're not going to feed him somebody, because, like, no offense, he's not exactly like an up-and-coming prospect. So.
Right. And John Fitch is already signed elsewhere. So they couldn't get the official hitman.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
But if you think, like, and
tough dads.
Oh, what's up?
Bret Hart.
Yeah, what about
emitting
him?
a really strong tough dad vibe. From
the guy had a stroke. Leave him alone.
No, I won't make fun of Bret Hart, man. He was a part of the childhood.
I'd like to believe that Anti Cool is like the #1 most popular guy here, and he's just damaging his stock with all of these hit jobs. Oh my god, you're really sinking down the intro.
Know what they get into when they come to see me, my friend.
I see.
It's the disrespect. The casual disrespect.
Look, all I know is that I'm not insulting anybody, because one day Khabib Nurmagomedov is gonna come to my house and pull me out by my scruff of my neck and give me a stern talking to about the disrespect to his friends, and I don't want that.
Is he friends with Bret the Hitman Hart?
He might be. Why not?
I had such the urge to just throw in a Brent Primus joke.
Leave him alone, man.
We'll leave Brent alone. We'll leave.
There we have dogs.
Well, the dog's gonna fight Brent Primus now.
You know what? They might. They might be looking for a home after that. So anybody wants them, I got it.
Oh man. But yeah, that was UFC Calgary. I guess we'll just go to parting shots and shout outs if anybody even has any.
What's going on, Annika? What are you laughing about?
I used to throw off Sensei at the beginning of each episode.
This whole episode was a throw off.
For the sake, just for my sake, I was told at like 11 o'clock to do
no,
this.
It's all impromptu.
I was practically like kidnapped to go on this show. Like he was like, "Hey, you want to be on it?" And I was like, "Sure."
You actually was outside your house with like a van and offering candy.
Wow. Oh, you know what though? You know what? To be on the DTP is just about that strong of an equivalent for some of us. And Cole was just, he was like, hey, you want to be on? I was like, sure. We've had power outages. I think Stokes fell off a ladder at one point.
It's been a crazy episode. So I say we end it on a crazy observation. And I'm not sure how familiar with J Electronica you are, Joey.
I know him.
But I have a comparison to make.
Sounds like a good fellow.
Yeah.
Did we take any questions for this, by the way? Like, was there?
No, this was super impromptu. There were no time for questions.
I was gonna make a thing for it, but I was just like, forget it. I don't want to type anything right now. But my observation is, instead of a shout out or a shot or whatever, I have an observation, and it's just basically J Electronica is basically Rasputin. I recently learned who Rasputin was.
You recently learned who Rasputin was?
I knew of
I don't
him.
believe that. That seems like
I knew of him. I didn't know like the whole freaking aura, his whole backstory. Like this random man just walks into town and starts screwing the Queen of Russia. Like, this is J Electronica's story. This whole man just ends up marrying like into one of the richest families on the planet. Instead of religion, he just does it with music.
I remember when I first came on here, I had to sit through Sensei's beautiful rendition of somebody's Chael-san and Lyoto Machida fanfiction.
Oh my god.
And we've evolved from that to Rasputin discussions.
Whatever happened to that?
Rasputin, he died.
No, the fanfiction stuff.
That's a great song. I'm cool with it.
It makes so much sense now. Now that I know his backstory, I was like, "What's the joke here?" Now I'm like, "Oh."
Didn't. Never mind. I don't want, because he might read it on there. I believe there was implications of a Chad Mendes Conor McGregor fanfiction.
Oh yeah, I don't have that one.
I don't. No.
Queued up.
Nah, we're good.
We'll save that for another.
I don't think the fine folks from. Who was the #1 region, by the way? I missed that because I joined late.
Yeah, we didn't look it up. I didn't do it.
All right, fuck you all then. Nobody.
You are special.
Not this week. She'll all be special next week. Next week you can be special.
Oh wow, I'll have Mendes one.
Oh my god.
I have a Conor McGregor Roy McDonald one here if you want to read it.
Oh no, that sounds even worse. Did they describe his turtleneck?
UFC 189 fanfiction / new interim champion Conor McGregor goes to see Rory McDonald after his fight of the year, but in Rory's hotel room, Conor gets a nasty surprise when GSP tells him home truths. I have no.
What are the tags on those? What are the tags on the? That seems okay. That's.
Oh, yeah,
well.
It always seems okay.
Well,
my favorite thing about this person is that he puts like the most recent MMA news in a little description of his fight prediction.
Sweet.
MMA news that week was Diaz was brought up on DUI charges, had to spend a day in jail.
Stokes, what's going on there? What's going on with this news?
1,000 what?
I don't know.
What was that?
I know. I'm trying to keep Stokes awake, man.
He was,
poor guy.
He was throwing up in the bathroom, but the cops told him to get out or something, so he could do a breathalyzer.
Oh, I do remember that. It was like a gas station, something along those lines. I can't remember this anymore. It's hard to keep the Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz's stories are hard to keep track of these days.
Oh man.
Nate too, because I think he got into a fight recently at like a jiu-jitsu competition or something along those lines.
The combative America.
Listen, Combat America, that's the number 2 promotion in the world. You don't hear Campbell McLaren these days?
Do I have a I'm trying to think, do I have a shout out? I have one shout out. Did we talk about Glory last time? I don't remember if we did. Oh. Then the shout out's old. So I guess I can't do. I'm shouting it out anyway. I don't care.
Yeah, it's your show.
If you want to talk about UFC 100, we could do that.
Glory 55. Alex Pereira sent Yusuri Belagori or Goy. I'm sorry about butchering last name, sir. It's 1:11 a.m. and I'm kind of feeling it right now. But he got knocked out. It was pretty vicious. Pretty nasty right hand. I think he face planted him. I might be lying, but he definitely got knocked out. It was a pretty nasty knockout. So shout outs to Alex Pereira for defending his belt. And shout out to Mikey Garcia, who won his fight tonight. So
shouts out to Derek Lewis, who called out Vander Volkov in Russian on Twitter.
And then Volkov said we can fight in Russia, and he said, "No, I'm a black man. I can't fight him." Oh man, Stoges, you got any shout outs or shots?
Yeah, shout to Skyscraper from Tap Out for taking a picture of me when I was in Vegas. He was actually really nice. Like, he actually started conversation with us and stuff. And shout out to Gilbert and Kerry Melinda. They were really nice too, just because I told them I was from Stockton. And parting shot goes out to Brian Stan. Stop being a fucking dick to people who want to take pictures with you.
Boom, boom.
Brian Stan's not even a
Shots
fighter
fired.
anymore, man. He's a consultant for. I don't remember what he does now.
PFL. He's like a liaison, I think, between the athletes and the management.
So he literally gets paid to do nothing.
Stop it. Stokes is trying to give a parting shot. Just attacking the PFL out of nowhere.
He shot at Brian Stan. Now I'm throwing a shot at PFL. It builds.
Brian Stan technically started this.
It's a good point.
He wasn't ready for the war.
Jesus.
You might want to read
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I just caught that.
Jesus Christ.
This is what happened when you record a podcast after midnight. You don't think about.
There are not hatchets big enough to cut this thing into.
There's gonna be some fine editing.
It'll be fun.
Sections just cut out and rearrange.
It's gonna be like a murder mystery novel. You have to just put it together on your own.
Did you guys actually record everything?
It's all recorded. Whether or not everything will make it, we'll figure that part out. But yeah, man. Oh, I didn't know. Did I interrupt? Were you finishing your shot?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm tired.
Brian Stan's a douche. That was the last shot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm just gonna finish it real quick. We were walking to the arena to go to the fight. Brian Stan and Kendall Grove were in line, and I tapped them both politely. I was like, "Oh, Mr. Stan, Mr. Grove, can I get a picture with you guys?" And then Stan was like, "Oh yeah, just hurry up, because the line kind of the line's never gonna keep going if we take too long for the pictures." I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about? The line ain't moving. You're taking fucking longer explaining it, and I would have just taken the picture." I don't know. That kind of irritated me. Fuck Brian Stan. Glad that Vanderlei knocked you out your last fight in UFC.
Jesus Christ. My God.
Oh man. You know what I think we're in.
Shout out to Ariel too for taking a picture of me in the elevator.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, you cornered him in an elevator. He couldn't get out.
Dude,
You killed Stokes.
Oh, man.
I don't want that on my conscience.
We were taking the elevator down, and the elevator stops, and fucking Ariel just walks in, and me and my friend were just kind of freaking out. and we were like, "Yo, I've been listening to you for years. Thank you for everything you do." And like he was kind of like quiet, like
He
so.
was worried you were gonna mug him.
I don't know, like.
He's very traumatized.
Stop. What's with this abuse tonight? Innocent people.
Saturday.
Innocent.
Oh man.
Stoges is trying to tell a touching story, and you're just trampling all over.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Shout out to Black Beast for begrudgingly taking pictures with people after the fight. He was not a happy man.
Begrudgingly. I like that word. Oh man.
We were gonna take pictures with him, but he looked just so unhappy. We were like, no, we'll just skip it.
That dude's back must have been killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also didn't recognize Jessica until after the fact.
That's fine.
Didn't recognize who? Who didn't you recognize?
Jessica.
I think it was Jessica I think.
No.
I
Was
think
Machine Gun Kelly there?
I did not see him.
You can't be sure.
That's some slanderous accusation. That's some slanderous accusation being thrown around. I don't approve of this.
Oh.
Did you smell secondhand pot smoke? Because that would be Jessica I, apparently.
I'll sue you for that.
It's not
She'll
slander.
sue
That's
you
what she
for
got.
that.
That's her. I cannot believe I'm clapping on this podcast. That
Allegedly.
That was her comment on why she failed the drug test.
So shoot.
It was secondhand smoke.
She's changed the story since then. Who knows?
Well, this is MMA. MMA. You're allowed to change your opinion. That's America. American ways to change your opinion. Point is, leave Jessica I alone. Don't be a bully.
I can't.
I think it was Jessica I don't remember. She was like really hot though. Like she cleaned up and like she looked really hot.
She cleaned up, man.
Yeah, she was like in, high heels and a nice dress. Makeup did, hair did. She looked good. God, what am I talking about? End this podcast now.
No, we're just letting you know. Man. You get it out of
so just let it all out.
well, not literally. Not literally keeps them in, but
Well, I think we can end on that note.
I didn't even get a parting shot.
Oh yeah, who you got?
Nobody. Out of the opportunity.
I thought
you got to offer me the fight before I turn it down.
No shout outs either. Nobody to thank.
I did have Dustin Poirier. I believe I can't remember off the top of my head what he did, but it's something related to giving backpacks away to kids.
Hey,
Is anybody
like 500 backpacks to kids in like Louisiana, I think.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give him a thumbs up. Also, I guess thumbs up to the Fox crew for doing the big DC party when he came back to work. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Got a party?
Yeah, they like cake and everything when he showed up to do the UFC tonight.
Good DC finally getting some love out here. He had to KO Stipe to get people to finally like him.
Apparently, he couldn't get him to buy the pay-per-view though. So
yeah,
can't win them all.
Yeah, can't win them all. Gotta take what you can get.
Oh, one last thing. I guess shout out to Max Holloway, who's apparently getting better and potentially fighting soon. Apparently,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I don't know about soon, as in again.
Okay.
He will fight once again.
Right, that's better.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you guys for joining us on this very impromptu episode. If it sounds jumbled and all over the place, it's because it was jumbled and all over the place. But
every time I'm on here, I have to apologize. I'm so sorry.
But this was a pretty fun episode. So
we learned about everybody. We had some good fights, and Stoges gave us a little bit of his soul. Anti-Cool talked to insulted 50 people.
I mean, y'all know what I'm about.
Sensei held the ship together, and then he'd like disappear.
And then it all just fell apart.
We came back strong. We came back strong.
Did we?
We tried. All right.
Did we though?
It's as strong as a dysfunctional group could possibly be. We tried.
I feel like we owe a lot of apologies,
That'll be all right.
but I don't know who to who.
You guys will
I
forgive us.
apologize
We'll be
to
back
all
next
of
week.
you out there who just spent the last 2.5, 3 hours of your life listening to this.
Nah, you're good. Listen, we got you through your lunch shift or your work shift, or we got you through to like
or your
half your work
workout.
shift if you listen to it. Yeah.
Oh,
Whatever you're doing when you listen to this.
if hearing Stoges describe this mysterious woman doesn't get you pumped up, then I don't know what will.
Definitely a UFC fighter for sure.
Oh man. But
Which one? I don't know.
I was gonna make a joke, but I can't. Like I don't know. I
No,
can't think of any long-haired like male flyweights or featherweights. Saw him from behind. So we started well, and then we finished well. We
It's the middle
you know
part
what?
you have to
This
worry
was
about.
No, the middle part's fine. It was the journey. We took you on a journey, some highs, some lows,
and some disconnections.
couple power outages.
And get ready for the TJ hate next week.
Oh boy.
There you go. So you guys can hear this again next week. But next week will be, not so impromptu. So we'll be a little more, I guess, prepared. We probably won't, but we'll try. But this has been another episode of the Dojo Talk Podcast. You can listen to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. For iTunes, please rate and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook at the Dojo Talk Podcast Facebook page. And you can follow me on Twitter at Serial Sensei. But yeah, we are gonna call it a night because it is 1:23 a.m.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So
Fuck.
we're out of here.
Be nice to everybody out there. Be nice to one another. Behave.
Yeah.
Enjoy
nice.
life.
And we will catch you guys next week.